thrilled to be here and really excited to jump in. Let me ask you a question. What do cancer survivors, gold medalists, and infertility crushers have in common? And I want a one-word or one-sentence answer. Anyone? That's great. We had determination up here. Anyone? Sorry? Stress, absolutely. All right. You're not really supposed to know the answer. I'll get to that in a minute. Before I tell you the answer, I want to share a story. I have a friend named Debbie. And Debbie and I have been friends for 35 years. She went off to Ottawa for university and didn't come home. She's been really wanting to come home, which is Toronto, for about half that time, for about 15 years. And she's been pretty unsatisfied with her relationship for almost that long. Her husband calls it quits. Solution, right? Well, unfortunately for Debbie, that just meant all her fears kicked in. She had all these questions all of a sudden. What would people think? She's already twice divorced. Is moving back to Toronto the right decision? Would her friends in Toronto have time for her? Will she ever find another relationship? Will she ever be able to afford a home in Toronto by herself? There were so many questions. And really, it was all based on the structure that we have in our society of family and how we think that we have to fill this family in order to be accepted. When I started coaching her, she was spinning. She was immobilized, she was isolating herself, and she was really terrified. And it was really because of this false form of family that she felt that she needed. There may be some people in here who can relate with Debbie. There may be some people who think that they are stuck in a relationship or in a family and that they can't get out. There may be some people in here who have gotten out of the relationship but feel pressured to get into another one and blend families. Or people who have chosen to be single and not have children and are shamed for it. What about fur babies? Anybody have fur babies in here? Oh, yay. Me too. I know people who have fur babies instead of real babies, and they're made to feel lesser because of it. What about people in same-sex relationships and marriages? There are probably even people in this room who come from dysfunctional families or even abusive families who feel unworthy, undeserving, lost, lonely. Where do they go to create the family that's right for them? You see, we live in a society that has decided that this traditional family is what we're supposed to achieve in order to fit into society and in order to be accepted. And it can cause a lot of pain. So back to my question, finally, you'll get the answer. What do cancer survivors, gold medalists, and infertility crushers have in common? Anyone? It's mindset. It all starts with mindset. By the end of this talk, you will know how to break free of the traditional norm of family so that you can create the family of your dreams. And you'll choose a champion's mindset in order to do so. And at the end, I have a really amazing gift for you. Does that sound good? Yay. Before I dive in, I want to share with you why I'm so passionate about helping women get knocked up or create the family of their dreams at any age. When I was young, of course, I was totally sold on this traditional family as well. And I was searching for Mr. Right and never found him. And at 42, I had this wonderful thing called biological clock kick me in the ass. I had a choice. I could choose to be childless, or I could become a single mother by choice. Well, not having a child was not an option for me, because I had always known that I wanted to be a mom. Did anyone else always know that? Right. Did anyone know that they really didn't want to be a mom? Fair enough. I don't blame you sometimes. Well, at 42, I started doing artificial inseminations every single month. And then I was also confronted with disappointment every single month. Finally, at 44, I caught on that that wasn't working, and I upped my game to in vitro. And I committed to doing 2 rounds of in vitro fertilization because I had 2 vials of sperm left, and I was given a 6 or 7% chance of conceiving. Not very high. While I was going through this whole process, my ex-boyfriend was kind of floating around, one of the Mr. Wrongs. And he was very supportive. And he even helped me choose the sperm donor. Weird, right? The sperm donor pretty much looked like him. So anyway. So I was at the first round of IVF, nothing. I was starting to sweat. And at the same time that he was floating around in my life, I was working with a shaman. And she and I identified the damsel in distress in me. And this woman, this part of myself, was young and feisty and strong-willed and opinionated and loud. And she was very attached to the knight in shining armor. And she was so attached to the knight in shining armor that she was constantly telling me that if you can't have the knight in shining armor and the family, then life wasn't worth living. Round 2, at my final round of IVF, day 1 of that cycle comes around. And in a conversation with my ex, I realize I am so not committed to this single-parent family. I have been going through the motions for 2 years. And in that moment, I shift my mindset, and I did it by saying goodbye to him for good. Because you see, I had put him into the role of the second parent. He was my knight in shining armor. 2 weeks later, I was pregnant for the very first time in my life. I now have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter, Sandy. Thank you. You see, so much of it was mindset. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping women create the family of their dreams, whether it be through getting knocked up or at any age. Mindset. So what is mindset? The Oxford Dictionary defines mindset as the established set of attitudes held by someone. When I started doing the research for this talk, I was really clear about what I wanted to talk about. I knew I wanted to focus on mindset and cancer and how a positive mindset would increase your chances of surviving, mindset and being an Olympian, and how a masterful mindset would improve your chances of winning, and how there wasn't any research into fertility. And what I found surprised me. There was little to no research on mindset and cancer, though some people talk about how adopting an athlete's mindset will improve your chances of surviving. There is a lot of research on cancer, being an Olympian and mindset. They even talk about how to master the flips and spins by mastering the vestibular system, which is thought of as the sixth sense, the sense of motion. And that research is coming out of Johns Hopkins University, a really amazing university for research. And then, as expected, there was no information on mindset and infertility. It just goes to show me that we've come from an illness-based society as opposed to a wellness-based system. Because clearly, mindset is a critical factor when it comes to being an Olympian, performing at the highest level in the world, possibly ever. You're asking your body to do amazing things. is mindset not an issue when it comes to surviving cancer? Is it not an issue when it comes to making a baby? Is it not an issue to creating the family that is right for you? There's so much research on mindset and athletes. And Dr. Jeff Spencer talks about mindset and that there are two mindsets. There's the human mindset and the champion's mindset. And the human mindset is our primitive brain. And it is where its sole purpose is to survive. And we all have it. There's no getting away from it. And it cannot create history. It can only repeat it. And it's going to incorporate every fear you have. And then there's the human mindset that is it's more the elevated modern brain. And it is geared towards success, geared towards excellence. And he says that the difference between a champion and the average person is that they know they have to choose this champion's mindset every single day. And they know they have to really adhere to this champion's mindset, and the fears are still going to come up. And they will still come up, but they get to override them or move through them. And they know they have to do this every single day. So choose a champion's mindset. Now, if we think back to Debbie, do you think she was in a champion's mindset or a human mindset? Human mindset, maybe? Absolutely. She was so stuck in the fear. And I would say in our society is set up with this weird construct, I shouldn't say weird, but this artificial construct of family that really doesn't serve everyone. We grow up, we go to university, we get a job, we get married, and we have our family, we have children. And it's not until then that we really achieve full independence from our birth family. And when that happens, I would argue, is not age dependent. We don't know what we don't know. When you think of my example, I was fully aware of the damsel in distress. It was more of an inconvenience that I was experiencing. What I didn't know is that her beliefs were mine. She's just a part of me. I didn't realize that I was still fully attached to the two-parent family. I thought I was showing up for all my appointments. We're good. I call that the blind spot. And that's the first thing I do when I start working with people. We create a goal, create the family of your dreams, and we identify the biggest blind spot, and we clear the fear. And we just keep doing that until there aren't any more fears. It's powerful work. Okay, I have 5 tips for you to get you started. The first one is choose a champion's mindset. It's that simple. You have to declare it every single day. Make it a ritual, but choose it. Number 2 is all of a sudden evading me. Gotta love perimenopause, right? The second one is commit to a goal, whether it be creating the family of your dreams or something else. Commit to it every single day. Write it down. The third one is fake it till you become it. I love this one. I'm going to teach you a new skill, a tool to put in your champion's toolkit in a minute, using the power pose. The fourth one is embrace your fears. I gave the name damsel in distress to my fears, giving up that two-parent family. When the fears come up, grab onto them, give them a name, and embrace it, and give it some love, because it's just a part of you. And number 5, and this is important for society, cultivate a champion's mindset in the little and young people that you know. And you do this by letting go of the outcome and engaging with them in the process. So ask them questions. Why did they choose yellow in that drawing? Or how did they come to that answer, that math question? Let go of the outcome. That'll come. So it's really important to really go for it. Now, going back to, I almost forgot to teach you the power pose. All right, I'm going to get everybody up. Please. Turn to your left. I'll turn this way so I'm in the same way. Okay, and you either put your hands on your hips, like Wonder Woman, or up in the air as if you just won the 100-meter dash. Awesome. I've been talking about how your mindset influences your body and your life. What you're doing now is you are using your body to influence your mindset. Dr. Amy Cuddy has done research into just this. She monitored testosterone and cortisol levels in people who came in to see her and had to engage in a stressful situation. And what she found is that the people who sat in a low power pose, like say sitting hunched over in your chair, looking at your phone, their cortisol level would go up and their testosterone level would go down. Keep going, ladies. And what she found was that when people stood in this pose for 2 minutes before a stressful situation, their testosterone went up and their cortisol went down. And high testosterone and cortisol level, low cortisol, is ideal decision-making environment in your body. And the great leaders of our world have that situation. Okay, you can sit down now. So I highly recommend, she talks about how you can use that until it becomes natural. So whenever you're going into a stressful situation, just stand against a wall instead of sitting in a chair all hunched over. Stand against a wall and do this for 2 minutes. You can do it standing in front of someone and get away with it. Or go to the bathroom. You probably don't want to do this one. Or go to the bathroom and hide in a stall and do this. But you're changing your internal chemistry in such a way that you will feel better going into that stressful situation. Okay, so now it's really cool. I want to offer you this free gift. And the free gift is a guided visualization to get you started on this. And this visualization will help you choose the champion's mindset every day. You can listen to it every morning. And this is really cool. If you take out your phones, if you want this guided visualization, I'll walk you through how you can get it. Okay, you're going to enter the phone number. You're going to text. You're going to enter the phone number, 855-969-5300. I'll say it again. 855-969-5300. And then you're going to put the words in, dream family. All one word, no space. And this guided visualization will help you to make the choice to choose a champion's mindset every day and clear away some of the crud that we carry with respect to our birth families, so that you can either have a better relationship with them or find the people who really you need to be connected to. Now, going back to creating the family of your dreams, what would life be like if you had that support, that love, if you were seen and heard? What would life be like? How would you feel if you knew you were playing full out because you had that support and that love? Who could you become if you had that rock-solid foundation? Could you rise like the phoenix? Having family can be so painful, but it can also be full of so much joy. And I welcome you to listen to this guided visualization every day And I'm so excited for you to see the shift that's going to happen when you dive in. And if you feel it in your bones that you really want to dive in deeper, I'd love to offer you a complimentary consultation to talk about coaching and see if we're a good fit. Come by my booth, it's just over there. A few final words. Michael J. Fox says, family isn't an important thing, it's everything. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be you. Thank you.
Cassandra Bach.